Holy shit, did I fuck up the evening? How's everybody doing? I am
William
not
just
supposed to be here doing this show right now, but um, earlier this evening, I stopped by the vodka stream because you know what? It took me 5 years to get on, so I'm like, anytime I get the invite, I jump at it. Tonight, I was going to stay on an hour, go over some of the topics, and it ended up being 3. So and then like I said, I there's
it ended
one
up being
case
3.
every time I have a chance to make the case for the promotional strategy when it comes to Warner Brothers
The
Discovery
Jim
in
and Jim
regards to
show.
DC
Yeah.
as a brand, I have to take it because I just don't think enough people are out there truly understand that you cannot wait till Superman Legacies approaches to start hyping people for the overall DC brand. And so obviously that led to me articulating step by step what I would do, who I would use, how, when, where. And so that took a little bit longer. And instead of being home eating my sister Kim's chicken sandwich, which is fucking great, I'm here looking at my sister Kim's sister, and we'll microwave it because I live and die.
This is why William is coming in, pretty hot, and he's already hitting the ground like a mile a minute coming in tonight.
There's no way I could have not streamed tonight because where am I going to spend that energy? So anyway, that's a whole. You guys already know my point because you've heard me talk about it ad nauseum. It's just like I said, when I get a different audience, I just got this is what we should be doing. It's free. But anyway, how's everybody doing? How you've made it to the weekend? If you are a Monday through Friday person, you've made it to the weekend. If you are like me and every day is a Monday, guess what? You made it to a different Monday. Congratulations, you're here, you're alive, and that is no small feat. We discuss this on a nightly basis, how hard this living thing is. Don't take for granted that you are sitting here at 11:20 p.m. Pacific time on February 16th, 2024. Don't forget that. Today is a standard Midnight Express. It's going to be short because I got to get the hell out of here. I should have already been gone. But we're just going to preview the weekend tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We are going to be taking another step closer to our fundraising goal. Right now, we are at 7,250. Any week, I'm not going to make any crazy promises because last time I made one, Brad is going to have to pay for it.
Yeah,
but we will definitely be trying to reach 8,000 tomorrow. I don't think that's attainable tomorrow because that's a lot of money. But if I can get to 7,500, I would be happy. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Join us for another Zack Snyder classic, one of the earlier ones, 300. There you go.
I would say actually this is probably. We watched Zack's first movie, his directorial debut, Dawn of the Dead. What about 2 weeks ago? I think it was. Yeah. And obviously, again, that's him, the beginning of his career, as a filmmaker. Because he'd been directing music videos and commercials, prior to that. Not to sneeze at that, but that was his first movie, Dawn of the Dead. But 300, I would say that's probably what really put him on the map as far as like this kind of set the template for like what people, people's image of what they expect out of a Zack Snyder movie really was 300.
Yeah, especially visually, that's where
hell yeah.
Together. So. Yeah. So there you guys go. The link is in that description. Let me go ahead and so for those of you who have not RSVP'd to it and made your plans, I'm going to go ahead and put that link into the chat, and so you know where to be there. For you patrons, you will be our co-host. So you'll be on there quickly. I know. Well, as long as we have our usual suspects, it'll be a fun day no matter what. So that's what we're doing there. And like I said, right now we are at $7,250. I have not adjusted the goal yet. I will adjust that after tomorrow's show. We will officially hold a ceremony tour. I just have enjoyed looking at that mission accomplished so long.
Yeah, that's so cool seeing it just get further and further past that little red dot.
I may not put it all the way up to 10,000. I may put it at 8,000 or 8,500 just to keep it, so that we're not looking at this void for so long. But you guys know the goal is 10,000. You know what it's for. You guys have been great. Everybody who's shared, even if you couldn't donate, everybody who shared has helped us out. Everybody has played a part in getting us here, the donors and the sharing people. So thank you. Tonight is open mic or open discussion for until I get so hungry that I start eating that food over there, in which case I need to go. Tomorrow's Saturday Night Overnighter. The one of the main topics is going to be the Sony situation. how I think that it's not as dismal and it can be fixed. The tools are there to fix it. We're going to talk about that at length tomorrow. I have not determined the comic book turning point story yet. Well, I've been like around the day just getting a lot of stuff done.
Yeah. Are there any that involve Madam Web you might consider using?
No, I would before when I did that, I did it before, but right now I just don't know if there's an appetite for it. But I think I'm gonna go off the range because I've been doing a lot of standard DC and Marvel stuff lately. I may pick an independent tomorrow because I have independents right now that are. I may pick an independent, a newer independent one because you know what? It doesn't have to be 50, 60 years old to change the tide of comics. Musical one, I'll wake up with one. Other than that, same format as the last couple of weeks. I enjoyed this format. So the last hour, we're going to let the inmates run the asylum for that. So that ought to be fun. It always is. And let's just hit the chat.
All right. And how's it going, Larry?
Hello, Larry.
How's it going, Hal? How's it going, Aaron?
Hey, Ozzy, next week, I think 2 a.m. Pacific time. Me and you are going to be watching the Elimination Chamber. It'll just be me and you, but I'm going to be up because I'm that kind of wrestling addict.
This is well, maybe I should come back to that. I was inviting everybody in, but so far that's everybody in the chat so far. But Fantastic Four Jurassic Park and Superman Legacy all released on July 25. Is that good for? Yeah, because there's been a lot of back and forth on that, and I mean I think again if each one's got like a 2-week kind of cushion between each other, that shouldn't cannibalize them too much.
Fantastic Four may move because the more you think about it, depending on how much pre-production they have to do, Fantastic Four will move. It's going to make its money no matter where it is. Jurassic Park's not going to hurt for anything, and I don't think Superman Legacy can. I think Superman Legacy is going to make the money it's going to make just where it's at, regardless to what goes on around it. You're either going to see that movie or not, and it's not going to be because of other movies. If it were one of those, if it were actually a movie that I thought could make like 700+ million, I would move it because I wouldn't want anything to drastically affect that. You're close enough to the potential of actually breaking through, but I don't know. It all depends on how they market it. I mean, if you think you got that kind of movie, you don't move it just because of competition. You move it because you want that bandwidth to yourself. So I don't know. It's gonna be weird, but you also have to realize that this is gonna be a stuffed summer because of the writer's strike.
Yeah.
So,
and God forbid, now it's IATSE and the Teamsters Union that are also going back.
No, I can't do it. I can't do another strike, man. I can't have a strike. No more strike updates.
I'm just keeping everybody abreast of the situation. Okay.
Brad's gonna jinx us, man. Then it will be your fault. No.
Right, everybody will blame me. How's it going?
We're gonna blame you anyway. I know, fun. The guy's so nice they named him twice.
Yes. What
is that on the shirt? What is that?
That's a gi with a belt on. Which, by the way, I just had a belt test tonight, so I just progressed up in Tang Sudo. I had one last week in Krav Maga. So,
hey, I'll still kick your ass, buddy.
Okay. So, Larry
I come from martial arts of lefty righty, top and
bottom. William, I have a music review of the week request. If you have time to listen tomorrow before the overnight, I'll send it now. If not, I'll send it for the next week.
Now send it. We'll have time tomorrow. And if I forget, just remind me. But go ahead and do it now, and I'll pick it up. Did you? Oh, you just. Oh no, that's before. Okay. Yeah, just go ahead and send it. We can do it tomorrow.
How's it going, Vince?
How you doing, Vince? Right,
William Brad, are you reading Joker Year One story in Batman 142, 143? Excellent deep dive into the exploration of Joker origin and here art. Yeah, I've seen that where it's like it very much is predicated on Ben Affleck and Jared Leto's Batman and Joker.
Yes, I am, and that may be something we reviewed, not as a turning point. We might review that tomorrow as just a just what came out type of situation.
And again, it just speaks to the legacy of the impact of those versions of the characters. I mean, when they start basing the likeness of them, in comics. I mean, if you follow Aquaman over these last few years, I mean, he's just drifting more and more towards, looking like Jason Momoa. I think the only thing left at this point for Aquaman compa wise is, just change his complexion, just give him more olive skin. It's like, that he's going to, be Jason Momoa for all intents and purposes, in the pages of DC Comics. So,
yeah. I agree. I will bring that out from behind the counter tomorrow night.
Yeah, because really, like, it's like you see like how the illustrations have just just been gradually just evolving to more of a Jason Momoa look. And it's like that's really all that's left is just his complexion is having more of the the Hawaiian olive skin. Which it's like, and yeah, it was like, why not do that at this point? It's like that's what people think of when they think of Aquaman now. So,
yep, 100%.
Congrats, Brad. Yes, thank you.
This is Bradley. Bradley, another troublemaker from the other stream, following me over here.
Well, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, was he in? Were you in the chat?
Yeah, he was in the chat. He was in the chat. I was fucking with him.
J Lo learned Krav Maga in the movie enough. Yeah, that's a lot of actors when they're training for a specific role. That's actually fairly popular for them to learn Krav Maga. And of course, I mean, it's from Israel. They teach it their military. They teach. It's also very commonly taught in in like in PE classes in school. It's like, I mean, like Gal Gadot is like, I can absolutely assure you, she was intimately familiar with Krav Maga long before she was Wonder Woman, long before she was Giselle from Fast and Furious.
Yeah, and plus it's a good way to keep in shape, from what I hear.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. The test. The test I had for that last week. Because tonight was Tang Soo Do and last week was Krav Maga. And the test I had for Krav Maga, it's like, man. I mean, they're both obviously have their challenges to it, but I mean, yeah, that was kind of a whole new experience. I had done Krav Maga for about a year and some change back in high school, and for whatever reason, my teacher at the time wasn't using the belt system. He was from Russia, so maybe they did it differently there. But so this is my first time coming back to that particular martial art when I started it back in November. My school, and yeah, it brought back memories in a lot of ways. But also, again, it's like my first belt test within it, so it's a new experience. But that's what you do. That's if you're not. I've always said, if you're not learning, if you're not growing, if there's not potential for that, it's probably time to ask for the check.
Hal Jordan has a question. Yes. Cyclops-centric story.
Oh, yeah, probably that's good to probably like coincide with X-Men 97 as much as William hates it.
There's a lot because you could Cyclops-centric story. Well, okay, no, this is easy. I'm sorry. Why didn't I Deadly Genesis. Literally. That's the when they find out about Vulcan, his brother. And it's centered it's Cyclops centered as much as you can be, but it's also Havoc centric, Alexander centric as well. But Gabriel Summers, his brother, and his relationship to everybody around him is affected mainly because Professor X lied to him and did all this stuff. But that's a Summer story. But him being the most prominent Summer, I would say Deadly Genesis would be my decision, my choice. And we should cover that too.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Yeah, and that's why I said like Gal Gadot and a lot of other like Oded Fair also. Remember from The Mummy, he's from Israel as well. He would have been very much familiar with it. And yeah, the thing about the test and Krav, it had this thing called the cauldron, which is it's the first 40 minutes of the test or so, where it's like you're hitting pads, you're doing drills, all kinds of, and you're basically in motion constantly for about 45 minutes. So it's like it's yeah, definitely you got to be sharp for it. But I do love it. I love again what each discipline, like what I can. What there is to gain from it. It's it's so different from each one, so that's why I just love learning new things and learning new aspects of each different culture and their perspective on fighting. So yeah, we're taking it down that road again, guys. But yeah, just 2 belt tests I had over the last week and a half, but it was pretty fun. Aaron also says. Yeah, and Mercedes Monet's tweets are going to get hot in anticipation for being in AEW.
Yep. March. What is it? March 5th. That was March 5th. Whatever that's going to be. And they've already. I think they sold out that building already. So that's going to be hot. I mean, she's a draw. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm glad she chose them. And Okada's coming too. I think Okada might be there on March 3rd. I think Okada might debut at Revolution.
Yeah, and of course, so everything with it. There was more. The Rock was like doing more of his thing. I guess like God.
He went full 2000.
He went. Oh yeah, he was like he went like the Rock we all know and love from his early days.
He's in Utah and he just got really personal with the people of Utah and the Mormons of Utah. And
You told one guy in the crowd, it's like, y'all come out there and like slap the herpes off of you.
I slapped the herpes off your lip. He's talking about the multiple wives. I mean, that's a very sensitive topic there. And The Rock just went completely. He didn't, and you knew it was heel Rock when he didn't take off his shades. I'm like, this is the Rocky that you damn kids you can only watch on YouTube and the WWE network in the old days or whatever. This is the Rock that I was watching, was one of the few things during that era that really kept me in WWE. But when he just started to absorb the booze tonight, I loved it because you could see him. And even then, he was trying to be a dick, right? And there were still people cheering his name when he stopped. And they're saying, Rocky, Rocky. I'm like, this crowd is he just made fun of your religion, and you're just out there, Rocky, Rocky. They're eating it up, man. Yeah, it's money. There's more money in The Rock being a heel than there is in Roman Reigns being a face. And I hope this is how this ends up. Because you saw who had command of that stage. That Roman Reigns is your WWE Universal Champion, been champion since the Fillmore administration, all that stuff. Those guys were way the fuck over here on this side of the ring. The Rock he came out last. That shows you, even though he's part of the bloodline, I still think he's going to turn on Roman, which, cost him the belt or whatever's going to happen. And then, but the Roman Reigns needs to be a face. I can't. His heel turn was cool, but not 5 years of it. Shit. Next one.
Here, Daniel asks, Wayne, would you ask for producer credit if DC picked your idea of coffee talk with Jim and Jim?
If they want to give it to me, free. I just want to see it happen because I can't. It just drives me crazy. I'm a fucking bonehead. All right. Look at me. Look at what I'm surrounding myself. I'm a lowly sort of semi comic book store hobby. I'm like at the bottom of the trunk. I have zero resources available to me to come up with this. They have everything. They have people sitting around that pay for more for their college than most of the people on my block made combined. You got Ivy League people. You have people who went to school for this. You have everybody there. All you got to do is walk down to the office. Hey, I need to borrow you for a second. Oh, you're already being paid by us. Come on with me. Oh,
I see. The thing about it is too. It's like I think that's also. I mean, because you're talking about the it as a way to like really get their own narrative under control and really like stabilize it. But the thing about it is, it's like I think it's a great idea. Like even on the best of times for for the brand,
build the machine. That's all I'm saying. And people are like, oh, they would never do. You know what? We need to start thinking outside of that box. They'll say, well, they would never do that. And that's not how they did it in the past. I don't give a fuck about the past. 2024, 2025. I have to live in the now, and you have literally AEW, which wrestling geek that I am. AEW is on your TV, on one of your two networks on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then you got pay-per-views. That demographic that watches wrestling literally crosses over to the ones that watch this stuff. I'm proof, and I'm not alone. There are millions of me. Whatever you're doing on Twitter and social media reaches millions. Whatever you're doing on here reaches way more millions. You're talking about some of these shows are upward minimum of 1 million in one shot. And you own the network. It's like, dude, are you walking around in the office not looking at people and there's no light bulbs popping up in your head? I mean, like I said, William the Dummy laid it out for you. Laid it out. So that means there's somebody sitting in Warner Brothers that can take that idea and refine the fuck out of it and use it for free. Just say, hey, you know what? That bonehead in Vegas, he gave us a good idea. You didn't even need to mention my name. Just seeing that you executed it will be my credit. I'll take that.
Yeah.
But man,
I'll just take credit for it. We'll say it was my idea.
Well, then when it gets fucked up, you're gonna have to take the blame. So
well, then they'll blame me. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's like you're covering all your bases.
But I just like, dude, and don't wait till July of 2025. Please don't do
that. Okay. How's it going, RJ? Stop by, say hi for a minute. How's it going? Yep.
How you doing, RJ?
Well, as you can see from Williams, there on that question, he's definitely got coming in from the vodka stream. He's definitely got his mind racing on the Jim and Jim show idea and just the general approach to like really just
they even came up
with really getting which again it's like it's a matter of like them getting their own narrative under control and not like the rumor mill just dictate every direction they're going to go into.
And guess what? If Film Junkie bought it, you can have his wife hosted. Hey, you know what? You guys on the internet might, oh, that's nepotism and that's just because of his wife. Hey, she's a hot blonde. So the 3%ers on the internet that have a problem with her being involved in anything are not the other ones. You show a sports demographic, a hot blonde, what's going to happen? They're going to watch, and she's hot. Yeah, bonehead in Vegas. That's me.
They should do that. It's like do it like the executive producer, some bonehead in Vegas.
You can use that. You have everything. I scrape together resources to put the word out there about my place any fucking way I can. They have literally, not only do they have money on ad budget, they don't even have to pay for what I'm talking about. You don't have to fly anybody out there. Boom, got a TV screen behind you. You already got the studios. All you got to do is decorate them. That's going to be pennies on a dollar. I just get out there. So by the time,
it looks like they're already. And it's like they're already kind of decorating him because some of the pictures he's put up on social media has like the wall of comic books behind him.
There you go. Get a sofa. Get Starbucks to sponsor it or somebody. You're making profit product placement. I mean, there's so many things that they could be doing. But like I said, because this movie, if you're hoping on any of James Gunn's first movies to save anything, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And it doesn't matter if the movies are good or not. You got to get the conversation started to the point where by the time these things coming around, the conversation brings cash. When you convert, conversation will multiply your dollars like nothing else. And if you get into a conversation and they build that rapport with you on that basis, people, by the time you get to them, you get the benefit of the doubt. You can stumble because people are like, you've already built a strong enough rapport with them.
Yeah, without getting into specifics of how we got here, although we could, you've got. I don't think it's off the mark to say, as far as like the DC fandom is concerned, there's a not insignificant chunk of the fandom that's arguably feeling alienated by the studio at this point. And the attitude of the previous administration was always very much what's like, well, we can just do fine without them, and we're constantly flipping them the bird, and look what happens. So it's like
but they also, who else they flipped the bird?
Everybody else.
Joe Sixpack, he may not have been in your face when you did this. He may not have been like right there, but he saw you.
Yeah. So
he turned around when you were doing this, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just keep walking."
And you're leaving cash on the table that way. So it's like, you want to have, you don't want anybody feeling alienated. You want Joe Sixpack. You want the different demographics and different subsections of DC fandom to, even if they're not going into it with like the same kind of enthusiasm they would have for or they were going to for other DC movies or other corners of the universe. You still want to at least pique that curiosity. You still want
want that conversation going.
You want them to say, okay, I'm intrigued enough to give this a shot.
Yeah. I mean, you start the conversation and let the conversation take you to places where just sitting there. And like I said, you'll do better than just not listening. And people say, well, it won't stop the rumors and stuff and all that's going to happen. That's fine. But guess what? I got this rumor here. It sits here and it makes noise all on its own with nothing to refute it. Even if I can't stop this from happening, I got a better chance of changing the perception and shaping the perception of my product if I have my thing sitting right next to it. So now you have a choice instead of just this bullshit sitting out on the web and you can like sporadically trying to respond to it. You have every week, like I said, I could do a whole. I even told him, how would we promote something? Because how would you promote something without having to promote? I'm like, you have 80 years of something to promote. You have HBO Max. You want people getting into HBO Max and staying on or joining on. So guess what? A whole show right there. Let's dive into the library.
It shows like they were on the right track with DC fandom. So it's like make that, make like that's like a big annual thing. That's like
I'm talking something like DC fandom, but on a weekly basis, but way more diverse than
on a more compartmentalized scale, where it's like, okay, we're like giving this is the Wednesday edition. Then you have like fandom be like, okay, this is like the blow it out edition.
Yeah, fandom would be an annual thing because you wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need more than one fandom if you had this. This would be, you would lead up to fandom. It's like you have your NFL games and you have your Super Bowl.
God, how fun would that be? It's like having like the 2 months leading up to DC fandom, having like like the countdown to fandom on the show itself.
Yeah. For the rest of the population, the 99.9% of us who can't, go to Comic-Con or who don't have an end in Comic-Con and can't see all this stuff, you make this special, man. And like I said, you get them in that rhythm. When you have people, when you get them into a rhythm of coming to where you're at, even if they don't know what you're about to do, because they know the last time they were here, they had a good conversation. And that's comic books and comic book characters and pop culture is driven by the conversation. That is the biggest selling point to any of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But of course,
I see Clinton has made it into.
But if I don't, if we, that's the other advantage too, is like having me like William doesn't want credit, I'll take it, because then if it goes south, then it's my fault, of course.
Yep, there you go.
Let's see, we had up here. There's one I want to highlight here too. This is or a couple. This one, Aaron says, Brad, I did boxing when I was in high school. Also, Trisha Okinawa karate, where I learned weapons style karate. It was a mix of Shotokan and Kyokushin.
Okay, what awesome. Your name? Yeah, I need to find out more about Aaron. I think Aaron's probably works for Ruth.
Yeah, Aaron is Ruth's assassin.
I don't know. I'm like,
Aaron is like Ruth is like dialing up Jane Wick in Australia.
When you guys finally both of you finally come on screen, you're both going to be wearing gis. It's going to be funny.
Yeah. Well, Aaron will have her Psy too, so you got to promise that, Aaron. You got to come on with Psy. But yeah, it's like that's awesome, Aaron. Because I'm doing a bit more with weapons now, but it's like but yeah, I hadn't done too much with it previously. So and yeah, Shotokan, that's also as far as that's one of the other arts I've done previously to what I'm doing now.
All right, damn it, was just this ain't the fight now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I just wanted to, and Aaron's like and now it's like after that, it's like Ruth is going to call me up and like ask me to like partner up with Aaron on like all these assassination missions.
Bradley, I need something handled in the States.
Okay. Here's a good one. This is kind of moving from DC to Marvel. Javier Bardem might be in negotiations for Galactus. Your thought? I mean, well, again, it's like it's nice to have somebody actually as opposed to like just the pink cloud in the Earth's atmosphere like we had last time.
And that's an Academy Award winning actor, so I think he would be great. I think he would do great in just about anything he's in. Larry has tipped me $20. Here's a request for 2 songs, 10 for each. The band is Candelaria. Am I seeing that right? Hold on. It's Candria from Brooklyn, and they're technically a hardcore band, but they have elements of metal and actual jazz, actual hip hop. Oh, okay. Well, who are these people? The songs are work in progress and channeling elements. Enjoy. Let me copy because this let me copy and paste. I got this one, and then another one from Larry, Will Brad. Because we have 20 people here, I think it's time to do another musical. Lego Lambs channel.
We've been doing those every night for like 3 nights now.
Yeah, Lego Lambs channel Neeson season is the song for the night.
Okay, I'll pull that up.
Okay.
We'll sign off and William giving WB Strategic Plan of the Vodka stream to the William stream.
Oh, dude, I was trying to leave. I forgot what brought it up. I think Film Junkie kind of brought it up, and he was reciting because we had talked a couple of weeks about it. He brought it up, and somebody was on here. He's like, somebody on here was talking about a weekly show. I can't remember what it was. I'm like, it was me, and that was the point of no return. And well, I respect, by the way, I respect the hell out of Ben Effort. So we went back and forth at it. But like I said, he was the one that was just asking me the questions. I'm like, this is how you do it. And I literally started pulling stuff around off the wall and started doing this shit because I'm surrounded by shit that, I hosted here. I'll make space for you. I'll make sure you have everything you need. You want a Funko Pop or something you're talking about? Got it. I'll have it right here. You want your comic books there on the money? I'll have them sitting there. And like I said, we're just having a geek conversation, and that's people like that shit. What makes people relatable from one person to another is a conversation. And a lot of the awkwardness and standoffishness that people have with strangers is that that wall is there. So when you make something and create an environment where that wall is non-existent, you bring them in with you and you come to them. And now there's a camaraderie and there's a rapport built there. And like I said, that is one of the most important parts of retail is that trust and familiarity with your customer and vice versa. You can't have it. People buy more from the people who treated them a certain way and well than they would. You could have, I've seen situations where there's been a higher price somewhere, but because that person is committed and has a rapport with that one person, they'll pay a little bit more than going to someone cheaper. That rapport is very important. So DC needs to really build it a long way before Superman Legacy is hit.
DC fandom was really fun. It would be nice to be able to look forward to some. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah, and like I said, just once we get towards establish your
there was no reason for them to have not continued with DC fandom
There wasn't, but you had old Hollywood that wanted to do Comic-Con, and then you had the strike hit. And I think Comic-Con, listen, as somebody who's going to Comic-Con, who's been to Comic-Con, I am thinking for the other people, the majority of us that need to be
The
bought
6,000 who don't make it into Hall H.
Yeah,
Or the
the
other
6,000
than the 6,000, yeah.
Yeah, I want this, and the more people that are into my shit and can see my shit are going to give me a chance to buy it. I don't want DC. You don't need to be doing exclusive shit. You need to be doing broad-based shit. Everything you put out should be available to everybody immediately. Just like Star Trek did when they put out that musical episode that people were waiting for. They gave it to us at Comic-Con, and legit 40 minutes later, they gave it to everybody else that had Paramount Plus, which I loved because I didn't have to spend my time explaining how cool that episode was. And the masses are what make or break these things. It's not us on Twitter or YouTube or anything. It's the masses. It's Joe Sixpack who's on the internet but doesn't live there. He watches TV. He watches NHL. He watches NBA. He watches the just the average stuff. He watches the sitcoms, things like that. And everything I just named off, they legit have on either TBS, TNT, CNN Headline, or CNN. You literally have 4 networks that all have commercials and all have space on them. Fucking just do it, man.
Yeah. What is that? Hal says Fantastic Four possible timelines in the 60s. Yeah, we've talked a bit about that before.
Yeah, I think that's where they will start out with. I don't think they're going to spend. I think the movie is going to be how they. I think they get pulled out of their own timeline into ours, and that's what causes it. That's what alerts people to be like, we got to get with all these people because this universe is collapsing. We just lost our universe, and now we're here in yours. And we Reed Richards, smartest man in the world. Now he's talking to Doctor Strange and everybody else. And now you start bringing them about. And like I said, I think that they start in the 60s, but that may only be like 5 or 10 minutes. I really think the movie is going to be about them coming from the 60s and having to apply themselves into the now, which I cannot wait for. I wish we were 2 years into this already. All right, next one.
Daniel says.
Oh, by the way, like and subscribe, guys. I can't.
Yes.
I'm horrible at this. Like and subscribe here.
Like and subscribe, everybody.
There you go. Block block my sleep stack face and block Vlad out too. There you go. All right.
Do you guys think Dune Part 2 can break out of the sci-fi fantasy type box office? That's an interesting question because.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, because it's topical too. Because of course, that's right around the corner, and it's they just had the premiere recently, and some early reactions coming out, and they are fantastically positive. The early reactions.
I think Dune might be the highest grossing science fiction movie of the last 25 to 30 years.
Really?
I actually think it could reach that level. You look at, Star Wars is going to be your benchmark. They're what, 1.5 billion. Now, I think it will take a while. I think that this will stay in the theaters a lot longer than a lot of those other movies. I actually think that this movie, plus it'll get re-released. See, the Star Wars movies made their money pretty much up front for the most part. I think Dune is going to make its box office money in the March area, and it might break $1 billion there. But and if it doesn't, that's fine. From what I've heard, and my intermediate saw it. Oh my goodness, he says it's going to blow my mind. But I do think that they are going to re-release it to keep it in the minds of the Oscar voters.
Yeah, to put it out like in November, December again.
So I think it's going to make even more money. I think by the time Dune is done making its money, because it could have a year-long run. Because once you re-release movies for Oscar, you do it before the year ends out so they can see them and get that hype going. But you also keep it over until the actual Oscar ceremony is happening. So right now, Dune is going to be in theaters for the better part of 11 months. Its original run until the money dries out, and then it's re-released later on in the end of the year and leading into Oscar season, depending on if the Oscar season is in March like it is this year, then you have a year's worth of money making with doing it. I think it's going to make a lot of money.
All right. Hopefully it's definitely.
And I'm hearing from people who are Star Wars heads that it's a generational science fiction achievement.
Yeah, there have been again that we were seeing some early reactions to it, from people who at the premiere or what have you, and then they have Daniel says it perfectly here. It's like it's getting like almost like religious type experience praise.
Yeah. And I'm looking. I'm in for Denny. Denny is probably the only person that could do a rom-com or a comedy or a chick flick, and I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna take this one in the nuts because it's Denny. gotta see it. I have to see it. I have to Thelma and Louise myself to see this. I will, and if it sucks, I'll be like, you know what, he had a bad day a lot. But he's the only person who I would give a chance no matter what genre of movie he is, because he's that fucking good. I think he's the best modern director currently making films right now. And that goes back to Blade Runner, that goes back to Prisoners, that goes back to The Arrival. That, I mean, he has not released a bad movie yet. And you've had mixed box office. I think this is going to be his first super blockbuster hit. Because all the other movies he's done they don't make money, but they were good.
The first Dune kind of broke out beyond expectations.
Yeah, and that was with a day and release. And like I said, people can fight me to the well on this. That key large strategy of getting those people who are not going to give this complex IP a chance, but they got a chance to sit down and watch it for the price of their subscription. Those people are with us now, and they never would have been before. So I go back to that. Yeah. Plus the new one is actually we released a new one in the theater. We're going to be doing a drive-in out here of it with a bunch of sand and sandworms.
And on that note, it's like, I mean, I joked around, or I could call this a joke, but this is also very serious on my part. It's that, listen, guys, Dune has giant sandworms in it. Okay, I have a very specific benchmark for giant sandworm movies, and that is, of course, the Tremors franchise. You are not as good as Tremors. You got giant sandworms. You're not cutting it for me. Okay, this met that the first Dune, so I'm definitely on board for Dune Part 2.
I was on door. I thought they should have not been postseason and filmed them both at the same time. But we don't know how much money. And I'm like, it's fucking Dune, dude. I mean, people stop second guessing yourselves. These movie studios keep second guessing themselves. Stop it.
Yeah, and also you save money too on your budget.
Exactly, because all these exotic places that you're filming, you don't have to fly out your effects people. They used to do that in the 80s. Back to the Futures 2 and 3 were both filmed at the same time. It just saves you money.
The original Superman, was
filmed
at the same time with the first one, and
long before the cameo. Those weren't cameos; they were already there.
Oh yeah. Is that and what would eventually become the Donner cut of Superman 2? They were filmed simultaneously. Of course, Zack Snyder did Rebel Moon 1 and 2 back to back. So
it just saves you cash, man.
Yeah,
especially when you're filming on site. When you're filming on site, it makes money. Dune has.
Yeah, I think Dune has a good shot at like being like the first. Maybe because like Beekeeper, I think was probably like the first big hit, but I think this has the opportunity to be like the first big like blowout just cultural phenomenon kind of blockbuster of the year.
Yeah, and I still think it's gonna win. I like I said, we got a long year. I don't know what's coming out before we got 6 more. We got 9 more months of movies to come out, and wow, we had 9 more months left in the year, huh?
Yeah.
We got 9 more months left, just under 9 more months. So there could be some movie that comes and blows me off my right now. I think it's going to be Dune, and I think that they're going to make up for that not being able to get out, because once again, as great as Oppenheimer and Barbie and any of these movies were, if Dune releases in 2023, Dune wins that shit. I without even saying because now I'm even more for it, because a lot of those people that are going to be voting are the ones coming out saying that they've been to a church-like experience. So. Man, I cannot wait. I think it's the last Tuesday of this month, but I can't wait to get the swag from that, because I'm buying the popcorn cup, you perverts.
Buying that crazy that very with the popcorn bucket that looks like something else.
They're dick in a box or dick in a
Dune 1, yeah. No, I saw it. I remember seeing an IMAX, and that was like one of the best like IMAX experiences I've had in my life. Was that the first one? It's actually the same theater I saw the Batman in. That was a pretty good. I would love to see Zack Snyder's Justice League in that IMAX theater I saw it in, because it really, that one the one I saw, it really gives you your money's worth as far as like an IMAX showing. So I'm definitely looking forward to Dune Part 2 coming up here. I'm looking at what's coming up this year, like trying to think like, as far as like what William's saying, like what else could like be comparable in terms of like that shared cultural experience, because there's a lot I'm looking forward to, but as far as like that specific set of parameters, I'm not sure. There's a lot that really
I
falls
can't think
quite
of
at that.
anything off the top of my head. As like I
I
said,
think
it may be
maybe Furiosa might be because it's just the because that's coming off of Mad Max. I think maybe that might that's the closest thing offhand I can think of that maybe might be kind of in that
that's
realm.
a long shot. But I haven't seen either movie yet. So Dune 2 could suck. It could suck. I don't think it's gonna suck, but man, it's all right. We're at 8 likes since whatever. What are we at as far as subscribers? I was making fun of myself on.
Here's the one for me that would probably, which again, it's like because like ones I'm looking forward to, like Monkey Man. I'm massively anticipating, and who brought it up here? Yeah, Vince. Avatar, of course. Aaron and I both down for that. But as far as like what William's describing is like something that's like the IMAX like church experience that that Dune Part 2 is being described as. This is the thing that I think probably would be the closest rival for that to me for Dune Part 2 is Gladiator 2.
Oh yeah. I've heard they were talking about on Cameo today about the what the studio execs think about that, and that they're actually going to spend a lot of money promoting it. Paramount's going to spend a lot of money promoting it, and which means I get to promote it, which is so happy because it's a Ridley Scott movie. Listen, Ridley Scott's been hit or miss the last 10 years.
And Ridley Scott is like, man, that guy's like, what? How old is he? Let me pull this up.
He's like 85.
He's
hey,
80,
Google.
He's gonna be 87 at the end of the year.
How old is Ridley Scott?
86 years old.
Holy fuck.
He's going to be 87 like a week after that comes out, and he is still going strong. He's still doing like 2 like Gladiator level movies like every year now. I mean, it's like, I hope it's like
him and John Williams are just going to keep going.
Yeah,
I would love for him to win. Oh no, you're going to put Ridley Scott versus Gladiator, Denis Villeneuve. Well, I think if Dune 2, hold on, wait, because I think Dune 2 is I think they're both producers of their movie, right? So they could split the difference. I think Denis Villeneuve is the producer of hold on, let me look at this. Dune Part 2.
By the way, anybody, if you've never looked up like the original idea for Gladiator 2, look that up because that was crazy. The idea they had for Maximus after that.
Okay, so if Dune 2 wins best movie, Denny, he's a producer, he's a screenplay. He has a whole bunch of ways that's probably what they'll probably do. If Gladiator is as good as they're saying, then they'll probably split awards that night. All right. So directed by Ridley Scott, written by, produced by Ridley Scott. So both of them, they're both producers of their own movie, and they both did the screenplays. No, David Scapia did it. So that's what they'll do. And everybody's in Gladiator 2. Holy mackerel!
Yeah,
everybody is in Gladiator 2.
Pedro Pascal, we're talking about him popping up everywhere. He's in Gladiator 2.
Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Human Torch, and best known for Eddie, my favorite.
Is
Connie Nielsen? There you go, Hippolyta.
Is Jamon Hansi back in it? Because of course, remember?
Yeah, he's in it because he's immortal. And Connie Nielsen, obviously, because she was in the first one. So yeah, those two movies. That's going to be a fight, but I think they're going to find a way to split those awards.
Yeah. Like Gladiator 2, that also has as far as like the Oscar contention. I mean, because that's coming out November 22nd, so that does have a little bit of like a built-in advantage because it's it doesn't have to re-release. It's out during Oscar season.
They just keep it in the theater. So
yeah, but yeah, I'm that's as far as like what Dune 2 is being kind of positioned as. It's like Gladiator 2. That's the only that's the closest parallel I can really think for what's coming up this year. And Gladiator, like I said, it's like that's when I bring up. It's like when you ask the questions, like if you were to like set all the nerd shit aside that we talk about, like what are interests you have, or what are like movies you like, shows you like, books you like that kind of fall outside of like the cape shit or the all the other stuff we talk about on here regularly with sci-fi and martial arts and cape shit and fantasy and all that. What if you ask me like what are some of my big interests or some of my favorite movies or what have you, it's like Gladiator. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, we're gonna wind it down because, like I said, I should have been doing this show from the house, but I kind of went overboard today. So, go ahead and pull up his thing that he had there.
Second.
Remember go ahead and pull up Larry's request for that little musical thing.
Oh yeah, Larry, can you just tell me again? Say in the comments again which one you want, Larry. and he said he was out for you. We the first one, of course, is Predator. Then the second one I pulled up was for Lethal Weapon, and then the one after that was for Cliffhanger.
Legoland's channel, Neeson Season is the song for the night. Neeson Season. So
Neeson Seasons? Okay, let me see if I can find. Oh, I bet I know. I think I know what that's going to be from.
Is that from? Is that going to be from Taken?
Yeah, probably.
I'll be right back.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull this up for you in a minute, guys. Where are you? Oh God, they got some. Oh man, they got some awesome. They got one here for Dread. They've got one here for. What they got one for the Running Man. They got Die Hard. They got so many good. Okay. It's everything Neeson Season. Okay, because I see one for. See one Liam Neeson the musical, but not seeing Neeson Season. I might need to keep scrolling down a little bit. Is it called Neeson Season or just Neeson the musical? Oh, hell, I'll just type it in.
Find it.
Okay, yeah, I think it's just it was okay. I think I got it. Yeah, it's Liam Neeson the musical, but like within it, it's called Neeson Season. So go ahead and pull it up. Yeah, Larry says it's Neeson the musical. All right, here we go. Pull it up, guys.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Larry blame Larry. He started us on this. It wasn't me.
We haven't gotten kicked off yet, so hey, there's that.
All right, here we go.
Something is amiss. The air is fraught with fear. January, February, that special time of year. It's Neeson season.
And we are
your
still
daughter
February.
has been taken, and you've got to track her down. It's Neeson season. You awaken with amnesia in a random foreign town. It's Neeson season. When everything's gone wrong, it's up to you to run the show. A pack of wolves is hunting you. It's 10 degrees below. It's Neeson season. The months go on and on. The same familiar chill. You want to see me angry. You've come to see me chill. Your life becomes a lesbian because you're never there. It's Neeson season. You break the Carney's fingers because he isn't being fair. It's Neeson season. You're giving Batman tips on how to take down Gotham's crime. You're seeking the Black Fortress, but you're running out of time. It's Neeson season. The Jews are hot and thirsty, and it's time to man the hose. You're working with cartoons, and you can't stand it, and it shows. You're helping out the children in their war against the witch. You're on a lovely date, but then your skin begins to twitch. You're feeling suicidal, and your plane's about to crash. You must release the Kraken to avoid a deadly clash. You mustn't drop your guard, you've got a family to defend. It's practically October, when does Neeson season end? It's Neeson. It's Neeson. Take the fucking elephant. It's Neeson season.
And the thing about it is, it's pretty accurate in terms of like when Neeson, because I mean, like a lot of his, I like the Liam Neeson, butt kicking movies. Like those tend to come out like January, February. So there you go.
There you go. All right, guys.
And Larry also says tomorrow he wants to. Okay, yeah, there is a one for Dread, so I'll pull that up tomorrow.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap this up because this one has to be a tight hour. 988 suicide lifeline, whatever. 24/7 call, text, chat. You get what I'm trying to say. Tomorrow in about 12 hours? No, not 12 hours. 14 hours. Join us here. We will be doing a screening for 300. We're going to try to reach our goal with the help of 300 Spartans. Hope you guys are there for that. Like I said, all this money goes to a awesome cause. a lot of different resources. One of these days, hopefully closer to April 19th, we get those people on here so we can have them explain it a lot better than I have so far. Brad, where can I find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Vero. You can find me, occasionally on Facebook. Yes, I did too, Aaron. You can find me, of course. Check out all my writing on my that I cover all this wonderful nerd stuff. Which I share all the time. You can find that out there, and of course, you can find me here on Sci-Fi Center, getting blamed for whatever it is. And also, by the way, Larry or Vince posted. I'm going to share this too. We've actually now established a Discord channel.
Discord server. Yeah, I got to put that in the description. Thanks for reminding me.
So we now have a Sci-Fi Center Discord. A number of people have joined us on there. So yeah, if you want to drop it on, that's just another place for us to just kind of communicate outside of the show and outside of social media. So you guys want to jump on Discord, find the Sci-Fi Center channel, we will be happy to add you.
I'll look up Travis to Champion tomorrow. I'm really tired right now. For those of you who will watch this in the replay, thanks for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Oh, one of the other things we were going to do tomorrow night, before I forget, is I wrapped up my interview with Owl from Pooh, Bloody and Money. So that interview will be ready tomorrow. And it's already edited, so we don't have to listen to the shitty version. We can listen to a nice edited version outright. So, all right, people. See you at 2.
Later, guys.